Hi everyone, my name is Deepshikha Goswami. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is the next part of short marks in 10 minutes series. Alright. So this is basically the 14th part. अगर आपने इसके पहले के बाकी के पार्ट्स नहीं देखे हैं, जाइए उसको जाकर देखिए. आपकी गेट डीबीटी हर एक में आपको बहुत ज़्यादा हेल्प करेगा ये, और ये आपको तब समझ में आएगा जब आप एग्ज़ाम हॉल में बैठे होंगे. ठीक है, तो लेट्स बिगिन. तो आज हम बात करने वाले हैं कि किस तरीके से ये जो IP3DAG पाथवे होता है, आई एम श्योर आप लोगों ने बहुत बार इसका नाम सुना होगा, IP3DAG पाथवे. ठीक है, अब ये IP3DAG पाथवे हम जनरली ऐसा मानते हैं कि सिर्फ GPCR मीडिएटेड होता है, पर ऐसा नहीं होता है. दो तरीके से ये मीडिएट होता है मेनली. ठीक है, एक तरीका होता है जहाँ पे ये GPCR द्वारा मीडिएटेड होता है, मतलब GPCR जो है वो रिसेप्टर का जो फंक्शन है उससे ये एक्टिवेट होता है या उससे चलता है, ये पाथवे सिग्नलिंग पाथवे वर्क करता है. और दूसरा जो इसका तरीका होता है वो होता है आपका RTK, रिसेप्टर टायरोसिन काइनेज. ठीक है, रिसेप्टर टायरोसिन काइनेज की मदद से भी ये पाथवे वर्क करता है. बस डिफरेंस ये होता है जो एंजाइम यहाँ पे फंक्शन कर रहा है उसकी प्रेजेंस. ओके, ऑलराइट. So let's begin. So first of all we will see the pathway which is working on the basis of GPCR mechanism, G protein coupled receptor. Alright. So you can see all the ligands, all the signaling molecules here, acetylcholine, histamine, etc. etc. ठीक है, बहुत सारे आपको यहाँ पे सिग्नलिंग मॉलिक्यूल्स के बारे में बताया गया है. ये सारे सिग्नलिंग मॉलिक्यूल्स का नाम इसलिए लिखा गया है क्योंकि these all work with regards to G protein coupled receptor. So GPCR works as a receptor for all these signaling molecules. Alright. Now, when the signaling molecule will bind to this receptor will get activated. Okay. So once the receptor is activated, it will act as GEF, guanine nucleotide exchange factor, and it will ultimately activate this G protein. How? This G protein is in the inactive state, it is bind to it is basically associated with GDP. But once the receptor gets activated, it sends the signal to G protein, and in that scenario the GEF, like the receptor starts working as a GEF molecule. So GEF, what it will do, it will exchange GDP for GTP. So GTP will come and bind here and GDP will go away. Okay, so now this you can say this G protein is activated now. So what it will do now, it will activate another set of enzyme which is known as PLC beta. So this PLC is what? It is phospholipase enzyme, phospholipase C. Okay, there are many types, or maybe we can classify this enzyme in many subcategories. Okay, so two of them are gamma and beta. So phospholipase C beta and phospholipase C gamma. Phospholipase C gamma acts in this particular pathway which is responsive to receptor tyrosine kinase, and phospholipase C beta is acting with regards to GPCR pathway. So we can see that PLC beta, this enzyme is working on PIP2 because it is a phospholipase, so it will ultimately break down the lipid molecules. Okay, so it will break down PIP2, phosphatidylinositol, and it will break down that into IP3 and DAG. Okay, now DAG is a molecule which is hydrophobic in nature, so it will remain inside the membrane somehow, it will remain bound to the membrane. But IP3, it is a hydrophilic molecule. Being a hydrophilic molecule, it will go into the cytoplasm, and herein it will ultimately bind to the channel which are present on the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, so we can see it here. Alright, let's say this is endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, and this is a membrane and there are channels present. So in the on the channel there is a receptor which is responsive to IP3 molecule. Okay, once the IP3 binds to this particular receptor, the channel opens, and once the channel opens, calcium goes out from endoplasmic reticulum to the cytoplasm. Once inside the cytoplasm, this calcium is responsible for various other activities. Okay, So you can see that IP3 is activated. It goes into the cytoplasm and it binds to the channel, and then it helps in release of the calcium. Okay. Now calcium is responsible for various cellular activities, mitogenesis, etc., along with various other proteins. So what DAG does? It activates protein kinase C along with calcium. So the process works like this. Let me just show you. Okay. Okay, let's say this is the membrane, alright. So once this is the receptor, N terminal, C terminal. Now signaling molecule will come and bind to this receptor. Now the G protein which is present here, it is having 3 subunits, alpha, beta and gamma. Okay. So now alpha, which is associated with GDP earlier, it was associated with GDP earlier. When the signaling molecule will bind to this receptor, so this receptor will get activated, and afterwards it will start acting as a GEF molecule. Okay. So now when it is working as a GEF molecule, it helps in exchange of GDP for GTP. So GDP will come and bind here, and now this G protein is activated and it gets dissociated from the receptor. So now this is G alpha subunit, stimulatory, and it is bind to it is associated with GTP now. Alright. Now what this protein does, it acts on the enzyme. What is the enzyme? Known as PLC beta. PLC beta. What is the function of PLC beta? It acts on the PIP2 molecule. Okay, PIP2 molecule, and it converts into 2 molecules. It breaks down this PIP2 molecule into 2 molecules. One is DAG, which remains inside the membrane, DAG, and the other one is IP3. So IP3 goes into the cytoplasm and it binds to the endoplasmic reticulum, the channel which is present on the membrane of the endoplasmic reticulum, and here is the receptor on which this IP3 molecule will bind. Because of this, calcium will be released from endoplasmic reticulum into the cytoplasm. Okay. Now this calcium will act with PKC, protein kinase C. Now this protein kinase C along with calcium will get activated and it will go on to the membrane. Herein DAG plus calcium plus PKC, they all will act together and they will interact with various other effectors and proteins and will activate those proteins. So basically the downstream cascade or maybe signaling cascade will start. Okay, signaling cascade. So this is the whole process behind this particular IP3-DAG pathway. Now you can see here the major difference which is present in this particular pathway is the presence of this isotype which is PLC beta. Okay, so this PLC beta is present in the case of GPCR pathway, whereas if we will talk about tyrosine kinase linked receptors, okay, so we will see it here. So PDGF, EGF, etc. are working as the signaling molecule for this particular type of receptor. Now here you can see there are various type of pathways, various type of activities which are working. One is IP3-DAG pathway, which is working with the help of this particular enzyme PLC gamma. The other one is PI3K and the other one is RAS-MAP kinase pathway. Okay, so basically this is what? This is receptor tyrosine kinase, RTK. Alright, so these are the two major pathways. PLC बीटा, ये आपसे कई बार पूछा गया है कि बीटा कहाँ यूज़ आता है, गामा कहाँ पे यूज़ आता है, ठीक है, अलग अलग तरीके से. तो प्लीज़ डू रिमेंबर ऑल दीज थिंग्स, दे कौन कौन से पाथवे किस किस से एसोसिएटेड है, किस किस तरीके से सिनेरियो आपको देखा जाता है. ठीक है जी, तो इसको कोशिश कीजिए याद रखने की. कुछ डाउट है तो मुझे पूछिए, कुछ अगर आपको फीडबैक देना है तो डू लेट मी नो इन द कमेंट सेक्शन. ओके, एंड लाइक शेयर ज़रूर से वीडियो को और सब्सक्राइब कीजिए चैनल को फॉर ऑल द रेगुलर अपडेट्स. आई एम गोइंग टू गिव यू अलॉट मेनी वीडियोज़ इन द कमिंग टाइम. ऑलराइट, टेक केयर एवरीवन. खूब मेहनत से पढ़ाई कीजिए, अपने पापा का नाम रोशन कीजिए. बाय.